What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of the Infinity Flux Letters page. I'm Matt.
I'm Andy.
This is our usually bi-weekly show where we talk with you live about all the cool stuff going on in the world of comic books and other pop culture too, but mostly comic books. And normally we do it every other Wednesday, but we wanted to do a special one today. What is up, Guillotine Aficionado? Pete Patron, how's it going? Happy new comic book day. Captain Millennium, how you doing? Happy Wednesday, best day of the week. We are live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok up here. And yeah, so normally we do this every other week because you're just talking about cool stuff, but we wanted to do a special one today because last week we talked about our predictions for New York Comic Con. And we should have written some of those down because I want to see how we measured up.
A bingo card or something.
Yeah. And now New York Comic Con has happened, and we wanted to just sort of go over as much as we can in the next 45 minutes about, the big announcements, because there were a lot of big announcements, and just wanted to see what you guys thought about a lot of this stuff. But before we do, we got to talk about our picks of the week.
Ooh.
This week was a little bit tougher because there wasn't anything in my mind. It was like super huge, like major launching points or anything like that. But there were still some really good stuff.
Yeah. What was my pick?
Stuart, how's it going?
I'll go with old reliable Battle Beast.
There you go.
Number 6, especially with that ending.
Brady McShady on TikTok, Chattanooga's best store. Thank you very much, Brady. Thank you for
that. Not just comic book stores, best store.
Best store in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
So I will go with Battle Beast number 6. Sad we will not get another issue for 5 months, but longing makes the heart grow.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder?
Yeah.
That works.
I'll go with that.
I got to go. I think mine is Captain America number 4. The best issue of the series so far. Big action, big stakes, a big twist that's going to make the next few issues even bigger and crazier. So I think I have to go with that one for sure. So let us know what your pick of the week was if you've already gotten your books and read them. But while you're putting that together, we want to go ahead and move on and start talking about some of the news from New York Comic Con last weekend, because I've got what is this, like 10 tabs, 12 tabs or something open over here. And this is only like just the DC and Marvel stuff. There was all kinds of other stuff too. AJ, love your shirts. Thank you very much.
I drew that one.
Yeah, Andy drew this one. And if anybody wants the shirt, you can actually order it right now on infinityflux.net. It's very comfortable. I'm not just saying that to sell. I love the fit of these because they're just a little bit longer, which is a good thing. A lot of my shirts are kind of short. They fit really well, super soft. And yes, a design by Mr. Andy Dugan right here that looks so good with the store name and Chattanooga on the bottom.
Right across your belly button.
I think there is no better person to model this than me, right? I mean, look at this, I don't want to talk about my 12 blind bags I bought today. Which blind bags did you get?
Probably the Mark Spears Monsters, which we were going to talk about.
Actually, we have some Mark Spears blind bags. What's the name of the book?
Monster and Wolf.
Yeah, we have some of we have quite a few of those available. If trying to get to it here. So for anybody who's local, I was going to see if it was maybe on the comic side. Here is our new comics. Well, shoot, I thought I can't get to it right now, but we have some of the Mark Spears blind bags available. If you want to go to infinityflux.net, you can order. I don't know if there's a limit, but
I don't think there's a limit.
Yeah, you can order to your heart's content.
Yeah,
try.
See how far you can go.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely order more. So, Pete, if 12 isn't enough, you know where to get some more. All right, so moving on to New York Comic Con.
This was a big New York Comic Con. I was very excited about. I always love going into a con. Just the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
But this one actually delivered. This one actually had quite a few big announcements that we're going to be seeing through next year.
Here it is. Sorry, I did want to get to it. Just real quick, share this tab and boom. So yeah, here's some of the blind bags. The Monster and the Wolf Trick or Treat blind bag If anybody wants some of those, we have plenty. So you can get some, and yeah, you can order them all from us right now and clean us out. I spent all my time in Artist Alley at New York.
Nice.
Very cool, yeah. Great news for us Absolute fans. Sad news for us Ultimate fans. Yes, Captain Millennium. So we will swap over to that. And yeah, that was the first big thing, right? Is I think this isn't really my favorite news, but this is my favorite news because I called this so long ago. Absolute Catwoman. Yeah, they just straight up told us we are getting an Absolute Catwoman 6-issue miniseries at some point next year. And I think that's great because after seeing her in issue number 13 of Absolute Batman, it's like there's just so much more story there to tell.
And she's going to be playing a big role in the next issue of Absolute Batman, where they're taking on Bane. It's going to be Batman and Catwoman and maybe Killer Croc all going after Bane.
That's right.
So I think we'll maybe even get more in that, seeing her in action.
Yeah, they got a nice design here. Some of this we've kind of seen before. I don't know if this is the new design. Or didn't they release this before when they
did one for Batman
her?
And they did one for a few others, but I think this one's fairly new because we hadn't seen her her stealth armor or stealth.
Yeah, and I like this too because the way they described her as they've always kind of thought as Absolute Catwoman as the Batman of this universe. Mm-hmm. She's the one with the wealth and the suits and the tech and all that stuff. She's going to be basically like a high tech thief, you know.
She doesn't necessarily steal items. She steals secrets, and information. And I think that's kind of a cool take on it.
Yeah, they showed some covers. They didn't show any interior artwork yet from Bengal, so I don't know how far in that they are with working on this. I'm sure it's at least partly written. But I don't know. Aloha from Clarksville, Tennessee. Aloha from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thank you for being here and hanging out as we talk about all things New York Comic Con. But yeah, I just kind of thought that was really cool. I'm already loving this character after just seeing her in one issue, and now we're going to get 6 issues. I'm hoping this will go the route of Absolute Martian Manhunter, where it goes from 6 to 12. Maybe it'll go the Poison Ivy route of 12 to ongoing. So if we keep buying, maybe they'll keep making it. That's what Scott Snyder said about Absolute Batman. He's like, as long as you guys keep buying, we'll keep making it. You know? So hopefully, we'll get more cool stuff from this. We also got maybe the craziest news.
This one is this is one of the ones I immediately when I saw it, I screenshot it and texted you. I was like, WTF is this?
Yeah, I was at a high school football game, and I wasn't like looking up Easy Reader, what's going on? How you doing? And I was in the bleachers, and I got a text on my phone, and it actually shows the picture in the text message, and I was going, what in the world? And I was like, wait, why don't I just get my phone? I was like, what in the world is that? And so so apparently we don't know how this is going to work, but at least at some point in DCKO, we are going to see Sub-Zero and Vampirella and Red Sonja, Homelander, Annabelle from The Conjuring, and then Sam from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, where she's deadly, but I don't know what she's going to do.
The most info they told us was characters will be going into other universes to train.
Right.
And I don't know if this is, my feeling for this is it's either going to be a one-shot with multiple stories where maybe that will, we'll see characters, Harley Quinn goes into Beneath the Trees.
Yeah.
Or, you've got, I don't know, Plastic Man versus Red Sonja or something like little one-shot stories or one-shots. They said, I think they did mention like these characters aren't coming into the battle.
They're not part of the tournament.
No.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be like sparring partners or something with some of the characters. But that just shows like, even now that we have the first issue of DCKO, we have no idea what's in store for this going forward. And this is, if this is any, hint at what's to come, this is going to be wild.
Yeah. Now, I do want to temper expectations because I remember when the Arrowverse was still on TV and they were about to do Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they said, we've got everybody. We've got Burt Ward coming back as Dick Grayson. We've got the women from the Birds of Prey series, and Tom Welling is coming back. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, there's all these people coming back, and then it ended up each one of those actors, those characters, ended up being in like one scene for just a second, you know. So this may be something like in, I don't know, DCKO number 3, maybe like some different heroes just open a portal and they're like, and they see, you know, Vampirella, and they're like, whoa, she looks weird, and that's it. It may be just like one panel each. It may not be anything.
It'd be weird if they did promotional art like this for little one scene things.
Yeah.
But I would not expect, I don't think their time with these characters or what these characters are going to do are going to affect the story that much.
Right.
I think it's going to be more of a fun, you know, you can pretend this happens, you can pretend this doesn't happen, and it doesn't affect the outcome of the series.
Yeah.
But just the fact of, from like a logistics standpoint, this is multiple publishers. So this is a DC comic, but we also have Dynamite on here, and we have Boom with Beneath the Trees. Sub-Zero.
No, Beneath the Trees is IDW.
IDW.
Yeah.
But Annabelle and and Dynamite is also the boys. Sub-Zero and Annabelle are both Warner Brothers, which is still with DC. So those make sense. Because most of these have, Sub-Zero, and they've all been like unlockable characters in Mortal Kombat.
They've been linked with DC before.
But this is just a I feel like this goes to show DC and how well they're currently being perceived even by other companies. That this helps everybody.
So time will tell. Let's see. Stuart says that's crazy. And Mark Davis says, I don't know how I feel about this DCKO news. When I saw it, you know, I was more confused than, oh my gosh, I don't dislike it at all. But instead of like my face melting off, I was just like, wait, what? How is that going to work?
I think it's because we haven't got a lot of info. So this is just kind of a shock. Although I want to see Plastic Man in the Conjuring universe just freaking out. Just everything. Annabelle chasing him.
I think Plastic Man with Vampirella could be interesting too, because he's actually kind of the same colors as her outfit. So is he going to do something creepy? I don't know. Who do you predict will train with Homelander? I mean, I would love to see Superman do it, and then Superman like one punch him and be like, or one shot him and be like, oh, I need to go somewhere else for training. You know, just I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think it would be cool if it were a one shot.
A one shot, I think. A 40-page one shot with multiple stories. You know, where you just see characters like, hey, we're all going to split up and go through these doors, and you know, when we come back, we'll be ready to take on whatever the next challenge is. And each of these is going to be a little thing. You could even have like, you know, some of them be longer than others. Like the Beneath the Trees could just be like a silly one shot one where someone goes in that universe and is like, this is messed up, and turn around and leaves.
Plastic Man and Vampirella is great. I can just see what he might try to do. You know?
I think he tried that once in a like with Power Girl or something.
Well, in this same we'll come back to this same panel in a minute. Oh, this was at the Jim Lee and Friends panel, wasn't it?
This was the day before the actual DCKO panel, because when they did that, they didn't mention this at all.
That's right. Well, there's other. Let's talk about this one then, since we're talking about you know, nice, cool crossovers. Is Swamp Thing crossing over with Something Is Killing the Children for Swamp Thing Is Killing the Children? So there's your Boom connection
there's
right there.
Boom, connection, and this is cool. Like, I'm not caught up on Something's Killing the Children, but you throw Swamp Thing in there. I do not think Swamp Thing is killing the children. He's a good guy.
Stock Painter on Instagram, yes, just a one shot, and I'm still shaky on it, but definitely interesting. That's the big things, right? It's, you know, you have my attention. I don't know how this is going to ultimately, you know, come across, but you already have intrigued me enough. I'll definitely check it out. Wonder Woman and Red Sonja would be cool. Yeah, where's my? There we go. Yeah, Wonder Woman and Red Sonja. But yeah, so this Swamp Thing Is Killing the Children. This is going to be, I believe, just a one shot.
I think it's a one shot. I think that's what I did hear about that one. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know the story.
I don't think they've really said too much, but the little teaser they released for it, where it had something's killed the children, then vines grow down, and it says Swamp Thing.
Yeah, that
was really, really cool.
Who's the artist for Swamp Thing? Did it say?
I was just assuming it was
Deladera. Werther Dell'Edera, yeah. To have modern masters like James Tynion and Werther Dell'Edera telling a tale like this. So I think it's just your same creative team. I'm on board for this. I really like Something is Killing the Children. Like you, I'm way far behind. I've got the 2 big hardcovers they released to try to catch up. So I love it though. And Swamp Thing, I mean, this, how's it going to work? Who knows? What's the story going to be? Who knows? But I don't really care. I'm just going to get it either way, regardless.
Like anything, like we were saying with the other stuff, if this is a one shot, you can pretend this happened. You can skip it and it shouldn't affect the overall story.
Yeah.
But I'm such a big Swamp Thing fan that when you said, oh, he's going to appear in something else. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this will be great. I like the wordplay for Swamp Thing is Killing the Children. That's great. I wonder if I think it'll be something like Erica Slaughter maybe thinks that Swamp Thing is a monster who is killing the children in the woods, and it's going to be one of those heroes have a misunderstanding and they fight each other, and then they have to fight the real monster. It'll probably be something like that, and that's fine. Yeah, that sounds awesome to me. Yeah, I'll read that for sure. So then going on, let's see what we have here. We got that one. That is part of the
big announcement.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. So I want to talk about this, though.
This was maybe the biggest announcement.
Yeah. So this is what I really got excited about. So at the DCKO panel, they told us a little bit more about DCKO and DCKO Night Fight, which we actually just read the other day, and it's so good. So keep your eyes out for DCKO Night Fight. So there was a whole first half of the panel was about DCKO specifically, but then afterward, what's up, Movie Trav on TikTok? After that, they announced sort of the next publishing initiative for DC after DCKO was over, like they had with All In. The next one is DC Next Level. Now, we do want to be very, very clear. This is not a reboot.
Nope.
No resets, no nothing. This is not another New 52. This is everything that they've been doing for the last couple of years is continuing. But we are getting new titles. We are getting Batwoman from Greg Rucka and Danny. We are getting Deathstroke the Terminator, Firestorm, which I feel like I manifested because I've been asking for so long. Batman Shadow of the Bat, which we know a little bit of behind the scenes information about, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. We've got another Zatanna book, and if they bring Juan Ferreira back, is he one of the names on this?
Jamal Campbell.
Yeah, sorry, Jamal Campbell. Yeah, and he's right there.
So I wonder if we're going to get an ongoing Zatanna or another mini series would be fine.
Yeah, that's bigger. Yeah, you give me an ongoing Jamal Campbell Zatanna book, and oh my gosh. Lobo from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona.
Yeah, that was the most confirmed creative team on a thing. Other than Greg Rucka and Danny on Batwoman. But the Lobo announcement, people were freaking out about.
And that's an ongoing.
It's an ongoing. That is a great creative team for this book.
Yeah.
Talk about a perfect pairing. So I cannot wait for that. And Lobo is one of those characters, when he's done well, he's great. And I think we are about to get that.
Yep, for sure. The Demon, and then Barbara Gordon Breakout, which I'm not sure what that might be, but I'm down to read it anyway. And it says and more. And we know the one other thing they talked about was Legion of Superheroes from Joshua Williamson. They didn't put it on here. We don't even have a logo. So that might be a little bit further out than these are. Because Joshua Williamson is also, he's doing Superman, he's doing G.I. Joe, and now he's going to be doing the new Iron Man book, which we'll talk about in a second. And then Legion of Superheroes. So that one may be a little bit further out to give him more time to get caught up. We don't know the artists, or we know nothing about that other than it's happening at some point. But yes, I
know a lot of people were really excited from the issue of Superman that had Superboy Prime and the Legion come back and everything, and it felt like they were definitely setting up something.
Yeah, Movie Trav on TikTok. I love reading Lobo in comics. His daughter is cool too. Crush, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, give me more Lobo. I love, I've always been a moderate Lobo fan. I didn't read much of him in the 90s, but I loved his appearance in the Superman with Rafa Sandoval, the House of Brainiac.
Yeah.
With all the other Zarnians. At that point, I was like, I I'm in the mood for an ongoing
Yeah.
Lobo book. And now, so we're getting all these new titles, and they did you know, this seems like a, you know, common sense, but I like to put it out there just to quell any fears that they said that this is not taking away from anything that's already there. This is in addition to everything else that they're putting out right now. So they're not like swapping out. We're not losing one thing for another. We're still getting everything we've got now plus these. And
I feel like March is going to be our next October.
Yeah.
Where October right now we've got so many big things coming out. That's when Battle Beast starts back. There's going to be a lot starting in March of next year that I think is going to be really, really cool.
Oh, this is Captain Millennium. That's interesting. I can't see Lobo's name without thinking of Logo from Deadpool and Batman. I want more of that too.
Yeah.
Give me some more of that, because
there was no talk about more Marvel DC.
I think that's maybe the one thing I thought there maybe would be, and there wasn't. No more. They didn't talk about any Marvel DC crossovers. But we know what we're going to get: Superman, Spider-Man, and that may happen later on, you know. JMV official on TikTok. Any information on Absolute Batman Annual? Well, that nothing in at New York, but it comes out in just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that. It comes out on the 29th. We'll be talking about it on the 27th on our Monday show. So join us for that, and we'll tell you all about it. Spoiler free, of course. But yes, this is super exciting. This is my most favorite piece of news out of the entire weekend. Is this slide right here is like my favorite thing ever. And then DC's not done, though, because they also announced a bunch of new Vertigo books, because a while back they announced that Vertigo is coming back, and then they kind of went quiet on that for a while, and then they hit the ground running this time. What was it, 10 new titles? These are all new properties except for 100 Bullets, the US of Anger. We have Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso coming back for a new 100 Bullets series, but then everything else is just new stuff from established creators and established creative teams, but just new books. And this Necretaceous is from Tom King and Derek Robertson.
Tom Taylor.
Did I say Tom King?
Tom
Taylor, sorry. One of the Toms, you know, all those Toms out there. But this sounds really fun. I was never a big Vertigo guy. I haven't read very much Vertigo. I was kind of a Marvel snob in the 90s when Vertigo was in its huge heyday. So I feel like I have some catching up to do, but maybe I can do it with these new books here. Are there any of these that you
I don't know. You know, we don't know too much about them, but, you know, I'm going to try out the first issues of all of them. I was a big Vertigo fan. I love, because you had 100 Bullets. You had Unwritten. You had Fables is one of my favorite series of all time. You had Scalped, which was huge. Of course, that's where Sandman was for a considerable amount of time. So many like pivotal series came out of Vertigo, and it always leaned. When I tell people like what's different about Vertigo, it always leaned a little bit more literary. It's not highbrow, like, you know, like uppity, but it does lean more towards it's usually less like bombastic action. It's more very character and idea driven, and it felt like picking up a illustrated novel rather than a traditional comic book,
right? And
that's what I always loved. And I love that they had good long runs, even stuff you know, even some of the shorter ones like Greek Street or some of those still felt so rich. There was Exterminator, which was really good. That was Tony Moore did the art on that, about exterminators and bugs starting to like take over the world. That was so fun. Just there's still old Vertigo stuff I'm digging back into. So don't sleep on this stuff. If you want like, you know, some rich storytelling, I feel like this is where you're going to get that.
And, you know, I'm sure everybody watching already subscribes and follows us on all the different platforms or whatever, but we will be talking about all of these as they come out. We'll be previewing them for you as they come out, just giving you an idea about what they're about before they're released. So if that helps you make your decision, drop a like, follow, or a subscribe, or whatever, you know, just to make sure that you catch those videos. These aren't coming for, I mean, it'll be next year before they come out.
Yeah,
so
most of the stuff we're talking about is next year.
Yeah, rollout begins on February 4th. So, you know, we're still a few months away, but as these get rolled out, we will be reading and previewing all of them to help you understand, you know, what the heck are these books about, and, you know, which ones are great. And Stuart, I agree that DC is killing it right now. I was thinking about the other day about just how excited DC makes me and how much they're giving to the fans. But it's also like I was thinking about it too, like something that a lot of people don't see is how well they treat the retailers with the retailer calls that they have for us, telling us about new stuff coming out. They actually listen to retailers. The reason that DC now releases trade paperbacks and hardcover, like if a trade paperback and a hardcover comes out on the same day, it's because there was a call where DC, it was like a year ago or something, and they said like, retailers, just let us know what we can do for you. And there were so many people said, please stop releasing hardcovers first.
Yeah.
Please, if you're going to do anything, please release the soft covers first. And DC was like, how about we just do them both at the same time?
Yeah.
So they listen to retailer feedback. They provide preview copies for retailers to read, not of everything, but of a few things here and there. But they just how closely they work with retailers and try to make retailers' jobs easier, and also how they give us, the fans, what we want and how much they listen to that as well. Yeah. They're just on fire right now.
They do great pricing when we're doing orders. Mm-hmm. They do great bundle systems and all of that really help out, which means we get to order more of their stuff. Mm-hmm. So they are doing a great job right now.
All around.
A few years ago, it was the complete opposite, where we're like, man, I really hope DC can get their act together and be like, Marvel had everything that was hitting and it was really good. And at this point, it's like, oh, now, they take turns being on top. But I feel like this is a really healthy way to be on top. It's not driven by, fake stuff. It's not driven by hype. It's driven by quality.
Yeah, for sure. Stuart, appreciate your preview content so much. Short form and long form. You guys are great. Stuart, thank you so much. We just recorded a short form video talking about 10 of the books that are on FOC this coming weekend. You can check that out, and we'll have the longer one on Friday. Yeah, it's refreshing to hear how they're responding to current comics crowd. They really do. I mean, and we've just been on calls, like we were on a call, a month or two ago with Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson, and they were just talking about how much fun they're having with DCKO. And you can tell that like they're fans too, and they're not doing this out of like trying to fill some kind of corporate quota. Mm-hmm. They wanted to give us, the readers, something fun to read. That's it. That's all it is. And that shows. Bad Ideas next book coming next year. Warbird sounds awesome. I haven't heard of that one. Their one that came out today, Save Now. Uh-huh. I really, really like that one a lot. Like that may be one of my favorite Bad Idea books that I've read. Like it was super good. So I highly recommend that one. So we got about 15 minutes left. We want to jump over to Marvel and talk about some of the stuff they talked about. And
I'm really interested in a lot of this stuff. The Spider-Man universe is kind of its own universe right now.
Right.
And this Death Spiral does sound interesting because it's going to tie in a little bit with Null.
Yeah.
And the Queen in Black. And everything.
So that was weird. So, we're getting a little, I guess a little tiny event in the Spider-Man corner of the universe called Death Spiral that's going to involve Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage and Mary Jane, who apparently is still going to be bonded to the Venom symbiote. We fully thought that her time was over or coming to an end, but I guess not. So, that's a little bit confusing now. We got to wait and see. But so we're getting a little bit of I don't want to call it an event, maybe like a little crossover over here in the Spider-Man corner. But they also did talk about another event called Queen in Black, which is coming next summer. And I wonder if that's going to be more of a universe-wide event like King in Black was, or if it's also going to be a Spider-Man.
It's going to be interesting because King in Black was huge. It involved everything.
Yeah.
Books that weren't even related were tied in with it. I don't know if they're going to attempt that again. Maybe it will use a different, corner of the Marvel universe. Maybe it will be more cosmic oriented or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested in what that's going to be.
I'm interested in Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage being back together in a story.
Yeah.
Because it has been forever since we've seen Spider-Man and Venom together at all, So, and they belong together. I mean, they're three peas in a pod or whatever. So I'm excited to see them just interact again. And Stefan on TikTok, I enjoy your content. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So there's something big coming for Spider-Man. This is going to start in, I believe, February. and everything that's coming in Amazing Spider-Man and all new Spider-Gwen and Venom and not like all that stuff is sort of going to feed into that.
Yeah, I think they mentioned something about Peter Parker coming back to Earth after being in space.
They did say when he comes back, he will find out about MJ and Venom. So that's what we've been wanting for forever.
A one whole issue conversation. Yep. I am okay with that.
For sure. So some stuff coming for Spider-Man there. And then there was a bunch of stuff with the X-Men. This was probably Marvel's biggest announcement here with all the X-Men stuff.
It kind of was like DC announcing the Lobo and Firestorm and all that. Yep. They put out a lot, like one big chunk of just titles.
Yeah. So they talk about, what's coming after Age of Revelation, and that's a new era called Shadows of Tomorrow. And this comes with a whole bunch of new titles. I wonder if this is the page that has all the So again, the X-Men universe is not getting rebooted or reset or whatever again, because some of the books are coming back and resuming the numbering. So we have X-Men number 23, which picks up where number 20. Well, it doesn't pick up, but X-Men number 22 was the last one before Age of Revelation, and then now it's coming back with number 23. Uncanny X-Men is resuming with 22. Mm-hmm. Wolverine's resuming with number 14. So some of these things are continuing, and then there's also a whole bunch of new titles as well, including let's get down to them. Inglorious X-Force. Yeah, this sounds pretty cool. That's a pretty cool team too.
That's a good lineup.
I'm glad that Archangel is on the team, and I hope he looks like this. I like this version of Archangel, and of course, Cable and Boom Boom are classic. There's a new Rogue miniseries. It's going to deal with aspects of her past. Yeah. Maybe some skeletons coming out of the closet, things like that. We got Magic and Colossus. I'm excited for this because Colossus is my second favorite X-Man, and he's been MIA for a while in the From the Ashes era. Wade Wilson Deadpool, we knew about that one. This is the one, though.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Cyclops, and it kind of mirrors that cover for 23 that's coming out. Is it 23?
20 when he comes back. Yeah, 23.
Where
he's got the sword.
He's got magic sword. Our kind of theory this whole time, since we know about Cyclops in the Age of Revelation, is current day Cyclops' consciousness in a future version of himself, and he sees everything that happens with the Age of Revelation, that maybe when he comes back, he's kind of alone trying to decide, like, I've got to personally stop this, even if no one else understands what I'm doing.
Right.
He kind of almost on this cover too looks like he's going rogue.
Yeah.
He's out there in the woods and stuff by himself. And maybe he's like, I've got to take out Doug Ramsey.
And somebody pointed out, it looks like he has a beard like he does in Age of Revelation. So maybe he's like, hey, I like that look for me. I'm going to grow it in real quick, So this is the one I'm excited for because, I think that I do think that story is at least close to what it's going to be like. And I find that very interesting.
Yeah. If it snaps back to the moment where he's shaking Doug Ramsey's
and he's
hand,
like, whoa, wait a second.
But he has all the knowledge of what's going to happen. Yeah. That could be really interesting.
I agree 100%. Generation X-23, you Laura Kinney fans may want to grab this one. There's a new Storm book, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. And I think it's not on here, but I think they announced a Quicksilver book too.
Oh, did they?
I saw a cover of Quicksilver, but it was kind of generic like this of him just running. So I don't really know about that at all. Clyde on TikTok, you guys should write a comic book. I am not creative in the least, but you've written some comics
I've written some.
And you're an artist. So I will he can do the whole thing, and I'll just be like, yeah, that's awesome.
Does this look good? Yeah,
that looks great. I'll be your hype man. So lots of stuff coming in the X-Men corner of the universe, and I'm interested to see how it all what it's like after the Age of Revelation is finished in December. They talked about this was the other big one. Yeah. It was the Marvel's Next Big Thing panel, and they talked about the Ultimate Universe, right? And
they're almost them saying, "Nope, it's ending. It is over. It is." Yeah. It's like. Doth protest too much, guys.
You're trying to convince me too hard.
Yeah, because they had a big screen. I forgot what it said, but it's really, really, really true.
It might be here.
Okay.
I thought maybe the image would be in here. It was like a black image with all the logos of the Ultimate books and how they're all ending and what month they're ending in. But I guess it's not.
No,
it's around here somewhere. So, but the Ultimate Universe. we both said with our whole chest, like, nah, don't worry, guys, it's not ending. They're gonna come out with new number ones or something, and they're really trying to convince us that yes, it is ending. I still don't believe it though.
I just go back to when Dan Slott killed Peter Parker and brought in Doc Ock as Superior Spider-Man, and people interviewed him and said, "Is this forever?" And he's like, "This is forever. This is, Peter Parker's never coming back." And then he's talked about afterwards, he's like, "I was lying through my teeth. Of course Peter Parker's coming back. Yeah. He's one of our number one characters." With this, it's like, these are your number one selling books. If they do end, if the title Ultimate Spider-Man ends, I believe we will have something that will take its place. Yeah. Whether it is called Ultimate or it could be called something else. Yeah. Amazing, awesome Spider-Man.
Super Fantabulous Universe number one or something.
I feel like there is going to be something else hot on the tail of the end of that.
Yeah, I think my guess is that the Ultimate Universe is ending because the heroes are going to end the Maker's reign. Yeah. And then they will I don't know if they'll reshape it or just start to fix it. But when you fix the Ultimate Universe is pretty much broken, right? When you fix it, what does it become then? Now it's the, awesome universe or the sensational universe or something like that. And I think they're just trying to, hey, we said the Ultimate Universe was ending and we weren't lying, but now we have the awesome universe, and that's the new thing. I don't know.
I still go back to that variant cover we talked about of Miles Morales, and it was like the foreshadow variant, and it was Miles holding the box that has like somebody's powers in or whatever from the beginning of the Ultimate Universe, and it's maybe Wolverine and
Captain America
behind him, and it was like the 2026 teaser,
a
thing, and it was like, this looks like you're starting a story, but at the same time you're saying it's ending.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wonder if this is going to happen. How close to this are we going to get before we hear about something afterwards?
That's right. Yeah. And I like this from Stickman. Maybe the Ultimate Universe will become the new universe. Like, hey.
Yeah. They've got a lot of words that they've used before. New universe or
the Marvel Max universe, and maybe it's more adult. I don't know.
So we're still holding our breath.
Yeah. I said I won't be convinced until we are several months past the end of Ultimate Endgame and there are no alternate universe books to buy.
Yeah.
Only then will I be convinced that, okay, it really did end, because there's nothing else. There's nothing here to take its place. So in this panel, though, my most excited thing from Marvel at all is this this new. Darn it! Did they not?
It's at the very bottom.
Is it this? A new Iron Man series written by Joshua Williamson and art by Carmen Carnero. I am really excited about this. I love Joshua Williamson. I love Carmen Carnero's work. They didn't really talk too much about this, but from this image, it kind of looks like it's sort of kind of going old school again. War Machine looks like super classic War Machine. It feels like it might be going a little bit more corporate espionage route, because you've got Madame Mask, who's been in all new Venom. You've got Pepper coming back, Citizen V down here, which I'm very interested to learn more about that. We did see Citizen V in the Thunderbolts tie into One World Under Doom, but it was Contessa. It was Val.
Yeah.
It was like it was Val as Citizen V. That doesn't look like her there. But yeah, so based on this image, like, this looks like the Iron Man book that I want. And I'm really excited for this, because I didn't really care for this past Iron Man run. I did like the one before that. So I'm excited to see what this turns out to be like. Iron Man's mask reminds me of the OG Ultimate Iron Man suit. Kind of. I can see that.
Yeah, it's a little pointier. I'm excited about this because it and they did release some interior pages for this as well.
That's right, yeah.
And it looks really good, and it does look like kind of almost what Joshua Williamson did with Superman, and kind of get it back to what's the core of the character. And I'm really hoping that's what this is for Iron Man, because he's been through a lot of weird changes and, magic armor and all that, which is fun for a while. But every once in a while, even if it's not a hard reboot, it is nice to get back to basics.
Yeah.
To work off of that. It's hard to build upon weird story after weird story. Like Superman was like, it didn't restart anything, but it just got all the characters back into, you know, their starting positions.
Yeah.
So we could play with them again. And I kind of hope that's what Iron Man's going to be.
Yeah.
Even the logo feels very classic Iron Man.
Yes. It's amazing how much nostalgia a logo can evoke, you know, and like when X-Men went back to their classic logo, I was like, oh, that feels right. And this logo.
Well, that was like with those DC books, like the Fireshield logo and all of that felt very classic.
Yeah.
The Shadow of the Bat logo was like very much of its time.
Yep.
And that's what I'm getting from this. And I would love Marvel to take note from this and spread the love out to some other characters this way.
Because I feel like they have been doing that with Captain America, with the current series. It feels very classic Captain America with a little bit of a retconning here and there, but it feels like it's a war story. Punisher Red Band is, I don't like the Red Band piece of it, but it feels very classic Punisher. Fantastic Four has been great. So I feel like maybe, Marvel, like, lean into this. If you need to launch new number ones, that's fine, but lean into making everybody feel classic again. And there's like Imperial Hulk, that's the opposite, or not Infernal Hulk.
Infernal Hulk,
that's the opposite. Like you're supposed to go the other way, make it feel more classic, not but this right here,
and when we say it's not like old farts saying like go back to the way it was, it's like no, but character get back to the core of what made the character great. That can be, the character can look different and do all that, but the core of the character, their motives, what they were built on.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you need to revisit that.
Yeah. Yeah. Clyde on TikTok, do you think DC is better than Marvel? I'm a fan of both. I will say I'm enjoying DC Comics more these days than I am Marvel's, but I'm a fan of both. I always have been and always will be.
That's a classic question people ask at a comic book store, and the correct answer is why not both?
Yeah.
There is books that either do that I enjoy more than other books, and that's okay. Like, you don't
have to pledge allegiance to one or the other, right?
Exactly. You can do whatever you like, and you can read whatever you want. And throw a couple of indie books in there as well, and you got a nice comic jambalaya.
Yeah. Stuart says you guys can never pass for old farts. I appreciate you saying that. We have a lot of filters on right now to at least to make me look
all the sparkles and the rosy cheeks you have.
I have a filter on to make me look his age, and so it's working out well. Holly, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. So I'm excited for Iron Man. I'm definitely excited.
That War Machine looks awesome too.
I know, right? Like that's what I'm really excited for. They did release some design artwork too for this Iron Man armor, and it actually kind of looks MCU armor.
It does, yeah.
Which is like, it's good, but I wouldn't mind a classic Iron War Machine right there, but just make him red and gold. Like give me the classic armor back. But I'm excited for this. This is my most anticipated thing from Marvel coming soon.
And with Ryan Stegman doing the covers, is good also.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that is it. That's all the time we have for today. But hopefully we didn't run through that stuff too fast. But we just wanted to hit like some of the highest points from New York Comic Con, some of the things that we're most excited for. Obviously, there's other great stuff like Ignition Press announced a brand new book, and we've been loving what they've been doing so far. So yeah, just all kinds of cool stuff. You can just Google it all and see all the information that's out there.
And I'm sure there's going to be more new now that these are out.
Yeah.
As the weeks go on, more news about them will trickle in.
Yeah.
It won't be long till we learn all the creative teams and get more idea of what the stories are going to be. That will all come, in with the next month probably.
Yeah. Well, more details to come, especially on things like Legion of Superheroes. We've got to learn more about that because there was almost nothing about that. But
and the what's going to happen with all those weird characters in DCKO.
Yeah,
like that storyline has already started, so it won't be long until that all gets solidified.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We just posted our comics to pre-order in a flash video a few minutes ago. On Friday, we will have Comics from the Future, talking about all the books that you can pre-order this weekend. On Monday is our preview video. A bunch of cool stuff coming out next week. A couple more, I think 3 DCKO tie-ins, some more new Age of Revelation tie-ins, a couple Absolute books. I can't remember. There's lots of stuff coming out next week as well. So lots of good content coming. So be sure to subscribe and follow and whatever you got to do so that you don't miss out on all the good stuff. We appreciate you guys spending your new comic book day evening with us. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you guys again real soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.